Stream is up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're up. We're live. This is episode 2 of Are We Allowed to Question That? And today's episode is sort of an FDR versus LBJ as far as presidents of the United States and things that were adopted under each of these presidencies and how they affect us today. And the book that I'm going to be referencing is United States of Socialism. It's a book by Dinesh D'Souza. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. However, I listened to the audiobook, and I have a hard copy coming on the way from the Jungle website. And this is sort of like a book review of it with some highlights. And this is what sort of got me going down that path. So, in the book, he states that, can't speak. A little background on Roosevelt. Roosevelt raised the top tax rate to 80%. And he wanted all income at the highest level to be taxed at 99.5. Now, I'm not ultra conservative, but even for maybe somebody that's moderate, that would seem a little excessive. Anywho, the purpose of confiscatory taxation was to create loyal voters, the recipients of government generosity for the Democrat Party. The simple socialist idea was to take money away from those who had it and give it to his own constituency, who would then reward Roosevelt and his Democrat Party with their loyalty and their votes. When FDR created the New Deal, I mean, looking back, it was obviously a raw deal. He obviously had the idea, which is heavily leaning towards the Marxist side of the equation, that redistributing wealth was a good way to go. Obviously, it's not. It doesn't work. I don't think there's anywhere in recorded history where it does. However, the concept of Social Security was to be a supplement for your retirement. And when he was asked about why not just make it a voluntary program, and he said because not everybody would participate, and if you made it mandatory, then it would never go away. Because once you take somebody's money, they are going to want it back. That's why now in 2024, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, no one's saying get rid of Social Security because everybody's forced to pay into it. That being said, along comes Lyndon Johnson, who took a lot of cues from FDR. That's why he went by LBJ. That's actually pretty well documented. And he wanted to create the Great Society, which started Medicare, Medicaid, and rent subsidies. And the Tax Act of 1968, which put a 10% income tax surcharge for both individuals and corporations. And at the time, it was supposed to fund the Vietnam War. However, that never really went away. Kind of popped the cork, if you would, on Social Security. and created more of a nanny state. Everybody says that these aren't entitlements because people pay for them. They're forced to pay for them. We have to be clear on that. I mean, it's not like people have the option of saying, no, I'm not paying into Social Security. You're either going to pay into Social Security or, like myself in my day job, I'm forced to pay into another. But it's state run versus federal. And believe me when I say this, there's very little difference. So that being said, you look at these programs and there isn't a single event that brought us to where we're at now. However, when you look at all of the monies put out and what we're getting in return, I think it's time that we start questioning that. Are the taxes imposed by the federal government, should this still be going on? I mean, at some point you're going to have to cut those ties because it's not sustainable. I mean, we're seeing that now. If you look at the our just ratio of debt to GDP, I mean, it's all playing out just like in other countries. I mean, there's you can't tax a nation into prosperity. That it never works. I think some people might approach that with maybe good intentions, but historically it fails. And I think we're starting to see that now. So that's my question to you. Are we allowed to question that? Are we allowed to say to our politicians, hey, enough's enough? I mean, just do it for a month. Calculate the amount of tax that comes out of your check. Then keep the receipts for everything that you buy for a month. And then add those taxes up. And see how much of your money that you actually spent. And I've done this once. I will not do it again. Very disheartening. So, again, that's my question. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The show is hooked up to receive calls now. At some point, having some interaction with the audience and taking some questions or maybe even some rants. I mean, the closer we get to election time, I think the debate last night was, well, if you are a foreign adversary and you see that, I'm going to say that it might be tough to take our current system very seriously unless somebody actually steps in and shows some type of reform. But that's my thoughts. I want to know yours. Drop something in the comments below. If there's a topic that you want to see discussed, everything's on the table. I would prefer to stay with things that are geared more towards the election and sort of state or federal government. Didn't really want to venture this direction, but I'm going to. I mean, because I'm going to say enough's enough. I think in its current form at a federal level that taxation is theft. It presumes that the federal government has a higher stake or claim to your money than you do. And that's my thoughts. Let me know yours. Comments are open. Please try to be civil. And today's quote is, quote, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Benjamin Franklin, 1755. And that, my friends, is a wrap. We will be back next Wednesday at 7:30. If you have a question or something, you can either text it to 234-902-1912, or you can just email me at o'malley'sadventure@yahoo.com. Until next time, stay sharp, keep a tight shot, group. and rock on. Peace.